What's going on, guys? It's the One Round Reco. Today we are here to finally finish the Power Rangers Cross Ninja Turtles Lightning Collection figures, this time being with Donatello as the Black Ranger and Leonardo, the leader, as the Blue Ranger, as it should have been from the very start. I have been so ready to finish this line because I love them. They look so good. They're so nice. So I have these two finally. I'm going to open them. I got them a little while ago. But again, like I've mentioned in my previous videos, moving, and I didn't want to ship them to me while I was at a different place, so I had them shipped a little while ago, probably a couple weeks now, while I was getting everything in order. I finally had the house in a proper way for me to record more properly, I guess, to say properly 4 times in one sentence. But I'm able to properly record. I have my Hydra light, my 5-headed light of doom, blinding, and then I have this other lamp that I've been using. So I have that. The only thing I'm really missing is a proper chair, probably a new table to record like these, because this one's kind of wobbly, if you haven't noticed. And then putting the door up between the bedroom and the gamer room, so there's a little bit less of an echo. But thankfully, the more stuff I put in here as I go on, it should help with getting rid of the echo. The corner I kind of record in right now is pretty full, the only thing being the open door, of course, which there just isn't a door on those hinges. We'll get there when we get there. But otherwise, yeah, I'll have another bookshelf next to this Gundam one you can see back here, and what have you. They'll have things on the wall. I'm going to hang posters and all sorts of crazy stuff, and obviously expand and organize a bit better. Maybe clear up some of the bulk that I have on my other shelf over here and put those somewhere else. So I can put a little bit more display stuff. I have to be careful because I have cats, and they like jumping on things. But we're not here to talk about cats today. We're here to talk about Donatello and Leonardo as the Black and Blue Rangers, respectively. I really love how these two worked out. I know some people were a little upset at the colors. People were like, well, Leonardo should be red because he's the leader. Like, well, no, he's the leader in Turtles and he's blue. So I'm glad they actually went with the closest colors. Obviously, Raph being red, Leo being blue. Those ones are obvious. April being pink because there was only 4 turtles and 5 rangers, so that was okay. And they only have 1 female ranger, so putting her in the pink role kind of makes sense. It would have been funny if like Mikey was pink or something, but it makes sense. Speaking of Mikey being yellow instead of orange, that's the closest color to his color, so it works out. And the same thing with Donatello being the Black Ranger, while technically being purple. There's no Mighty Morphin Purple Ranger that exists. There's very rarely even a Purple Ranger, period. There's only been a handful of proper Purple Rangers. They've never been called the Purple Ranger anyway. They've just been purple, but like the Wolf Ranger from Jungle Fury. He was technically like purple, but he wasn't the Purple Wolf. He was just the Wolf Ranger, I think, or something like that. So anyway, as you can see here, I have them posed up with their weapons, which I really like how they did these weapons. They have these 2 effect parts have been used before. I'll go ahead and just grab Leo first. It's just the slide-on electric one, which I even used that in the... That one was on the Tommy and Raph 2-pack for Tommy's sword. So this one's been used several times in different colors. I don't know if it's been in this light of blue, but whatever. And while I'm holding him, you can see he does have a strap on the back where you can put his 2 sheaths on his back, holsters, whatever you want to call them. And also the fun part, just like the lances that he has, you can see the ports on the bottom here. His 2 swords can connect to make an actual lance, as what Billy could do with his power lances. I'll set him to the side. We get Donnie here. Donnie's nice. I like he has the power axe, but for him it's like a power axe bow staff with extended handle to be more so in line with the weapon that he uses. Of course, he also has a holster on the back. His is kind of slitted, so you can just peel it apart and stick it in. Yeah, I'm just going to go on with what I just said. So it holds pretty securely in there. And then as well, they also included a cannon mode one, which I've tried. It does not slide up, so I think this one is built to be the cannon only, which is alright, because you can actually make the power weapon, the power blaster with their weapons. I didn't grab them all together to do that, but you can. It's a little finicky because it's not the traditional way, but you can use this, the lances, the bow, whatever, and make an actual power blaster out of the turtle weapons, which is super neat. Thought about getting the pieces together, but I was just, it's not, it's, you know what the power blaster is. I don't need to put it together, but just know that you can do that with the turtle figure. That's probably why they include this specific part, because trying to do it on this elongated version would probably be impossible. And it has, of course, this one effect's been in there before. I think it's been on most of the power axes, pretty much, which I like it a lot. I do want one of those blast effects. I might have to pick up one of the actual Black Rangers that has the blast effect that goes in the end of the blaster, which is, I like that one, especially the metallic one. Now that metallic white has been leaked, if you guys haven't seen that already, it's kind of fresh, been the past couple days, but completely confirmed, leaked, and you can see pictures of it in the box or whatever. I might have to actually pick up all the metallic line, because I really like how they look, and that's one of the few that has a proper head sculpt for red, like one of the best head sculpts so far. Speaking of the head sculpts, I really like how they work on the turtles. I like the red eyes that stick out from under the helmets. I don't know why they chose to do that, but I think it looks really good. I also like the big eyes on top of his head for the mammoths in particular. They all look cool because that's about how they look, but it almost looks silly, but in a good way on Donatello specifically, given how big the eyes are. But they look really good. They have the gold and the paint so far is really good. I haven't noticed really any issues on my turtles at all. Even just looking at the white looks good. There's that right there I noticed when I pulled them out. You can barely see. It's a little blue on his ankle, but depending on how you pose his foot, you might not even see that, so it's not that big a deal. The belt slash the sashes slash, like the holster part, this whole part is soft plastic, so you can move it around and get it out of the way, kind of, and you don't have to worry about like hurting it at all, really, because it's pretty malleable. They have pretty good range, of course. I can look here that the heads and waists are probably the things that have the most lacking because of turtle shell, but they can still pose really well. You can see how I had them up there. You can bend their feet. They got a nice ankle. You can get a nice wide, almost 90-degree leg. You can't go back too far again because of the shell, but why are you going to be putting your leg back that far anyway? Not really that big of a deal. I'll go with him because he's less hindered by his weapons. But yeah, they got the nice butterfly joints, which work nice. They're nice and blue, so that they match the color. They don't clash too hard. They're really muscly, but I guess that makes sense because the turtles are ninjas. You can actually go beyond a little bit with this joint. Still obviously hindered by the shell, but you can get probably all the range of motion you'd want out of these guys for what you'd want them to do. Of course, it's just like any other turtle figure. They're hindered because they are turtles. They aren't just people, which I'll compare with here in a second. But overall, the sculpts are really nice. The joints are good. No real loose joints. Mainly just tighter joints is what I've seen on these guys, which is all right because you can kind of work those out. Like they're pretty steady. If my table wasn't so wobbly and they were sitting on a flat surface, not on like a fabric mat, they'd probably stand just fine. Oh, it was actually, I didn't know they have a hole in the chest. That's where the crest, the little diamond plugs in, I guess, to keep it in place. I didn't know that. Well, that's cool to know. And of course, that's covered up really well by the design, so you don't have to worry about that sticking out. Because I've opened 4 of these guys, yeah, 4 of these turtles, and didn't notice it until the last one. So it's built in pretty well. I like him a lot, especially Leonardo. The choice of blue they picked, it's almost like not bubblegum blue, but a light blue that I really enjoy and I really like. I think it's a very fitting color. Obviously, he's black. There's only so much you can do with black, but it's a nice looking color on him. All the colors for the turtles have been real nice. Like the red on Raphael was a really good choice because it's not exactly the MMPR color. Like if you had a Billy to compare, it's not exactly the same color, but it makes sense because they are different people. Like the Shredder, which I'll show here in a second, he's more of like an olive green, if you will, instead of the traditional like foresty, just straight like green as the normal traditional Green Ranger. But they are different characters. And speaking of different characters, I'll go ahead. Well, before I do that, I'm actually going to show off. I forgot about the heads. You got a really solid Leonardo head sculpt, very solemn, serious for the leader, very in thought, just pretty good. Not super cross-eyed either. And then you got this real kind of, I don't know what expression, excited or just kind of like grimacing or what have you, Donatello head. I know a lot of people are mixed with the goggles in recent times where they've given him the goggles. I don't mind it as much. And the other thing I pointed out is how the back of his head is purple instead of green like the rest of them are. I pass it off as he's wearing the goggles, so he's wearing the full do-rag, if you will, to keep his head covered. I know this is probably supposed to be painted green instead of the purple that it is, but oh well, it's not that big a deal. How often are you really going to be posing them with their regular heads? I'm not really going to. I'm probably going to put them back in their box. And they come with a set of hands. They got the holding hands. They come with, of course, the weapon holding hands. They each come with a fist hand, left and right, and then an open karate grabbing or whatever hand you want to call this, both left and right. They both get these. I only pulled out one of each because they both have them. They're both just the white, so you can really interchange them, no issues. I'm going to grab these out of the way. Speaking of white, here they are next to the Ninja Blue Ranger, which is fitting the Ninja Turtles, and the Ninja White Ranger. I said Ninja Blue Ranger, but Ninja White Ranger. They pose up pretty well. Turtles are, I think, slightly taller if I stand them up all the way. Actually, no, I think he's actually a little... They're about the same height, honestly. Which works because the turtles aren't super huge, other than like their actual bodies. They're not super tall, so it makes sense they're falling pretty line well with the ninjas or any other the Lightning Collection figures. So they pose up really well, and that works if you want to put them in display. Like what I might do is I might pick up the whole ninja line, and even though in the comics from Boom Studios, where these are from, they weren't the Ninja Rangers, they were the Rangers in kind of ninja get-ups because they lost their powers. I might still pose them up with the Ninja Rangers, even though Tommy's a White Ranger, which doesn't really fit. But whatever, I think it'd be cool, and they all look nice. And then, of course, you gotta show them off with their villain, Shredder, who really does stand a league in his own, taller than all of them by a long shot. He really does have like about a head and a half, or about a head at least, on any Lightning Collection figure, barring like the monsters, but especially the turtles, which really makes him imposing. I have my display, which I might make the thumbnail, I don't know, is going to have all 5 of the turtles, or 4 of the turtles and April versus Shredder, where he's standing like this, and he just really looks imposing. Definitely one of the better Lightning Collection figures released, period, and I've only handled a few, but they go really well together. They really look like they should be fighting and what have you. It's real nice. I really like how they really nailed it with this line. And then just to compare it with something else, here is the SH Figure Arts faceless Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because his face keeps falling off. I don't know why. I guess I'm just not pegging it in right. But yeah, I'll fix it. That's good enough for now. You see the scale. They fit pretty well. They're both about that 6.5 inch scale. Normally I'd grab Easy 8 from the Gundam Universe line to compare, but he's over there. He's chilling. I'm going to give him a break this video. But they fit pretty well. So if you want to have a weird Power Ranger Ninja Turtles versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku for some odd reason, you can do it and they wouldn't look too out of scale, which is really nice. I like that a lot. But overall, if you haven't, I would pick up the turtle line. I really would. I love them all. I grew up loving Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles and having them cross. When I saw the crossover in the comics, I'm like, bro, that is so cool. I love those figures, or I love those designs. I wish they'd make them in the figures, but I know they're not going to. And then not even a year or so later, they announced them. I was so over the moon when they did, and they all look really good. There's some things that can be better here and there, but no figure's perfect. I think these guys, for what they are, really hit the mark, and I think excellent. Excellent. And I like that they've branched out from the comics. I know they've hit Draken and Ranger Slayer and a few other bits and pieces like the Ranger Sentry. They've hit the Red Ranger Sentry specifically. They've hit a couple of those, but I like them branching out to stuff like this. This could, we could even get a Brainy. I don't know how they would do it, but I know they cross over. The Power Rangers cross over with the Justice League as well. There wasn't like a Blue Ranger Superman or something, but maybe we could get like Brainiac Alpha. I know they kind of tease that at the end of the comic. Spoilers for a comic that's probably a couple of years old now. But all etc. aside, these guys are really good. I would pick them up. If you like Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, or both, these are definitely a grab, especially these two. These two look really good. A really good way to finish off the line. I really like the blue on Leonardo, and Donatello just looks cool with his big power axe bow staff. Definitely, if you're interested in the slightest, I would very much recommend them. Very good, solid figures. You lose some articulation because of the turtle shell, but oh well. They're really put together. I believe they have drop down hips as well, so you can really add to them. I don't remember. I'm not going to mess with it right now. But overall, solid figures. I would pick them up if you have any interest. I believe right now, it may be over by the time this video goes up. I don't know. This is the Saturday is the 4th, I believe. The 4th or the... Yeah, the 4th. Today's the 4th. They are going to... Hasbro has a sale going on, and you can pick all of them up, including Shredder, for like 83 some bucks, something like that. So if you don't have them already, now's a good chance. If you see this before this coming Monday, which is the 6th, or the 4, 5, 6, yeah, Monday the 6th, that's it. I would grab them before then if you have the spare funds, because these are definitely worth it. And with that being said, I've been the one, Rowland Ryko, and I'll see you guys next time.